Welcome. I'm Danielle Sally.
And I'm Eva Fusa.
And you're listening to Ghost Boss, stories about the freelance afterlife. We're back, Ghosties.
We're back!
Woo-hoo! Season 2. Did you miss us? We missed you.
You definitely missed us because y'all were promised content over the summer that you didn't get.
Yeah, what happened to that, Eva?
Well, you told me.
I told you you had to do it.
You did. And then we talked one day and I was like, I'm really busy this week. You're like, well, if it doesn't get done, that's fine. And I think you meant this week. And I interpreted it as like all summer.
I did.
Yeah. So that was on me.
Okay. It's fine. There's still this random episode. We might drop it. Who knows?
Maybe.
We're not going to, guys.
Maybe. I just, I would say I'm busy. I was busy having a Brad summer. I was not. I was busy having a work summer.
No.
Yeah.
So what's interesting? So we're
just diving right in, guys.
I know. It's funny. I think you all probably think Eva and I are together 24/7. And we talk a lot.
We do.
But we don't see each other a lot.
Yeah.
And part of that is we're both moms. We don't live near each other.
She lives so far away.
I live so far. And we really don't get to see each other that much. And so she called me yesterday and I was like, I feel like I haven't talked to you in maybe a month. And I think it had been.
Well, and also we've texted over the summer, but not nearly as much as we normally do.
No.
We saw each other at the AAF Midlands Board Retreat.
Yes.
That was different because that's a big meeting. That's not like that's not us time.
It's not us just hanging out.
So we had not seen each other since we last recorded in May.
Yeah.
And we were used to seeing each other every week.
Yeah.
So welcome back, guys.
I know. It feels so good. I was so excited to get back in the studio.
I know.
And I've had people like, when are you getting back? When are you getting back? I was like, we'll get there. We'll tell you when.
We'll get there. We're doing it. Here.
Oh, it's exciting. Yeah. I will say this though. So over the summer,
yes, I
celebrated officially 1 year. Yay! 1 year as a ghost boss.
Yay!
1 year working for myself, being a freelancer. And I started my company. Well, anyway, that's all I legally started earlier, but
I heard that in another episode. Y'all go back and listen to season 1
and listen to
if
it.
You need to know about the canon events.
Exactly. But I officially started working for myself July of last year.
Yes.
And I remember people told me, July is kind of busy or not busy. It's not busy if you're consulting or freelancing. It's usually a little bit slower. And my mindset at the time was, that's perfect. I have been at this. I've been at an agency for 10 years. Sure. I would like for it to be slow in my life.
Sure.
And so I enjoyed it. And then really, I remember last year around September, things started picking up real quick, real fast, real fast, real quick. There we go.
Yeah.
And so this summer, it was different because I had been busy. And then it slowly started to slow down. And July was very slow work-wise. Let me tell you something. I embrace that to the fullest. And I've seen so many other freelancers that are like, look, work comes in waves and don't start freaking out if your work's slowing down. Yeah. Embrace it because you have a busy month ahead. So I just kept telling myself November's going to be crazy.
Sure.
November's always crazy.
Sure.
And man, I had the best July ever. And truly the best summer ever. I was like, I don't remember the last time I had a summer this good.
Aww.
Which just tells me freelancing was the best decision I've ever made.
Yes. Yes.
So, how was your summer?
Not slow.
Not slow.
I didn't slow down.
Oh, that's great news.
I've never. Well,
is it great news? Is it good?
I was losing my mind. It's fine. I'm either really busy or incredibly busy, which it is a good problem to have.
Oh yeah.
But I did not slow down over the summer. I only got out of town twice. I took my son down to Savannah twice. I texted you.
I was so excited.
I texted you the whole time. I was texting Danielle and I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I love being here. Also, what do I do with my hair?
Yeah, you don't. You give up.
How did you live here for 4 years?
And I told her I went to college there. The students don't stay in the summer. We left. There was only one summer that I actually stayed in Savannah for the summer.
Yeah.
And, it was brutal.
It's so hot.
But also in general, though, you happened to go on the hottest weekend.
Well, I went
because every weekend you went, it was still over 100 in Columbia.
Oh, easily.
It still was bad here.
One of the weekends we went with friends.
Yeah.
And I was telling the other mom that I brought a hair straightener and she was like, why?
I
straightening your hair?
When I first moved to Savannah, I was straightening it. And then I slowly just embraced the wave.
Well, that's the thing. She was like, we're going to walk around downtown and then we're going to Tybee. I don't understand what you think you're doing. It's the middle of June.
Well, and you're so close to the beach. Beach hair is acceptable.
Well, and I'm a beach Indian. So, it's fine. But anyways.
Embrace the wave. Embrace the frizz.
Yes.
Just don't care.
Well, no, the wave is fine. It's the frizz.
My issue was that I was just constantly sweating. And
that's fine. It's okay.
I sweat all the time anyway.
Yeah.
But like, I used to really care about if there was sweat marks on. Like I used to totally get embarrassed by it. And now I'm just like, it's a part of life. Half my body's wet right now.
I mean, we were walking around like Forsyth Park and stuff like that. Yeah. And everybody's just like jogging and stuff. I'm like, we're all sweaty. We're all gross. It's fine.
So it doesn't matter.
It's fine. My kid's like running around on the playground and like just drenched in sweat.
Oh yeah.
I was astounded at how much all those beautiful live oaks with the Spanish moss hold the heat into the city. Yeah. It was so much hotter downtown.
I never thought about that.
Oh my God. Yeah. And when we went to the beach and I was hanging out with my friend who lives there and I was talking to her and like somebody else who lives there. And I was like, it was so much hotter like where we were staying than like they live like downtown, but like not like super downtown. I was like, it was so much hotter where we were staying versus here versus your house versus the beach. And the other woman was like, yeah, because all that Spanish moss just holds the heat on top of concrete.
Yeah. Savannah is essentially a sauna.
Yeah. My pores were wide open when I left. It was
fantastic.
Great. It was great.
It's just sweat and ghost. And
Sweat and ghosts?
I think that's why I loved it there.
I love it. We should, if we ever get around to some summer episodes, we can call it Sweat and Ghosts.
So sweating with the ghosties.
Sweating with the ghosties.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I love it.
So anyways, welcome back, guys. So it's interesting. I got really used to talking to you every week.
Yeah.
And so then when we weren't recording over the summer, there were things that I was like, I had to start writing them down because normally I'd be like, we're going to record in 3 days.
Really?
And I'll just remember to talk about it.
I should have done that.
Well, I've got some updates.
Okay, let's hear them all.
It's a mixed bag.
Do you want my hot take on your updates?
We're going to end with that one. We're not going to start there because I think the beginning of the list, you're probably not going to feel anything about one thing. I think you're going to maybe like another thing. Okay. But we'll end with the thing that I actually texted you about.
Okay, let's do it.
So some updates from over the summer. The episode where I was like, I don't do other creative stuff to like counterbalance.
Yeah, I want you to talk about this because you're a liar now.
I am. Well, I've come back into an era.
Yes.
I started painting again.
I saw that. Yeah. I'm very excited. Have you finished the painting? Are you still, is it going to be a multi-month project? I would do that.
I have 5 in progress.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. That is very much like how I was when I painted a lot.
You just start and you can't really finish and you go to the next one.
Well, yeah. One of them, so this is what happens. Like I'll make one and like part of it needs to dry extensively before I can add to it. So then I start another one. And the difference is now that I can't work on it constantly the way I used to be able to.
Yeah.
Just because my life's busy because I'm a mom and I'm working and stuff like that. So I have a bunch unfinished. And the interesting thing about it is I used to, when I would paint, I would have an idea. Yeah. And then I would kind of like run through it pretty quickly because I know what I'm doing. Now, because some of these I just haven't had time to go back to them. I've changed what I'm going to do with it. Because it's been sitting in my office and I look at it every day. Yeah. So I'll share when I'm done with them.
You don't even that's all part of the whole creative process though, right? And that's the fun part. This isn't something you're getting paid for. So you don't technically have to finish any of them. You can start 10 more and be fine.
Yeah. There are definitely some pieces that, started with like trying some new techniques because I am rusty. I am real rusty because I haven't done this in so long.
Done it forever.
And there's like boards where I was like experimenting with some stuff and there's little notes to myself like, this looks great. This is really ugly, Eva. Like I'm just like writing myself notes. And then I go to bed and I wake up. I was like, still right. It's ugly. We don't like this.
Still ugly.
But it was interesting because it reminds me, in the creative process as a designer, we talked about like make ugly stuff because that's how you get to cool stuff. And because I hadn't painted in so long, I felt this pressure to like make everything cool from the beginning. And I was like, but it's okay to make ugly stuff.
It's okay.
And nobody has to see it.
Yeah. You need to listen to your graphic design self.
That's right.
When you're painting.
That's right. So
make ugly stuff.
I make there's plenty. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So I'm making ugly stuff.
Yes.
I have read 0 books this summer.
Man, you are shifting. You're in a new era.
Made a playlist.
Not to get all Taylor Swift.
No, but yeah. I've been listening to a lot more music and I've made playlists.
Oh,
which
man.
I know.
Season 2 is a whole new you.
I know. I don't clean when I need a break now.
Wow.
I work out instead. I've been doing kettlebells for 6 weeks.
Am I rubbing off on you?
It's a whole thing.
Yeah. I was super, when you told me you're doing the more strength, I was like, yes, let's do it. Cause I get really into strength training.
Yeah.
So I love it.
So my exercise before that, I would go on walks routinely, 30, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour long walks. And I liked it and it was great. But now I've been adding kettlebells, which then has changed how I have to eat. So that's a whole thing.
Yep.
I texted Whitney one night and I was like, I started kettlebells this week and I am so tired. And I just ate a whole bag of ravioli. She goes, do you not see how those things are connected?
They are very connected.
They're very connected.
Increase your carbs, increase your protein.
Yeah. So now I'm eating protein bars for breakfast.
Love it.
So like I am a whole.
Oh, listen, I make sure I get, it's probably close to 40 something grams of protein every single morning.
I don't know that I can get to where I count my macros.
Oh, no. Well, who knows by season 3 at this rate?
At this rate, who knows by December? Danielle, all of these things have transpired in 3 months.
Look what happens. I leave you and you slowly.
Do you know what else I've done? I've dyed my hair back to its natural color.
Yeah.
I've gone to a neutral nail. There's not been a color.
Wild.
Other than a light clear or a white on my nail. Yeah. I don't know. Since the spring.
Whole new you.
I've been wearing a lot of neutrals.
We'll see though. Fall could hit. We might go back into all of our normal.
I don't know. It felt very fall at my house the other day because this is a thing I did a lot last fall. And so I did it earlier this week for a different reason. And so I was like, I'm bringing in the fall. I was burning a lot of sage and listening to some Fleetwood Mac. And I did that a lot last fall. And so and today I'm wearing a dark green. So we're bringing it in.
Listen, August 1, I was embracing it. It's fall now. I keep seeing posts where October. And I'm like, yes, please. Well, more of it. My whole algorithm on my social media is just constant Halloween.
So my pool membership doesn't expire for another 3 weeks. So I'm not letting go until I'm not in a bathing suit
we live
constantly.
In the South. You can swim in fall here.
I know. I was talking to the friends I went to Savannah with, and we were talking about when we're going to take the kids back.
Yeah.
And we were originally trying to do it before the end of the summer so we could, we can go to the beach and stuff. Sure. And they were like, hold on. We can go swimming at the beach through October.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot.
You're fine.
It's fine. We'll just pick another weekend if we're busy over the summer.
The risky part is you get into hurricane season.
Well, I live in South Carolina and I have for most of my life. So I'm familiar with hurricanes. Yeah, so it's fine. It's fine.
That's the best time to go to the beach, honestly. You're taking a risk, but it's the best time.
So that's what I've been doing this summer. That's a lot of updates, though.
That's a lot of updates.
But let me tell y'all what Danielle sassed at me about.
What? I don't even remember which one. What I sassy you about?
I wore a strapless dress on a Zoom call.
Okay. No, we need to discuss. Guys, we had a episode where we talk about how
shorts in a meeting.
That you just don't do that. That includes rompers, people. Don't wear shorts to a meeting. Unless you're on a Zoom call, that doesn't count.
Or I think the caveat I allowed was if it's a lifeguard meeting.
Yeah.
That's
fair. But Eva then tells me over the summer, I had a meeting in a strapless shirt.
No, not a strapless shirt.
A strapless dress?
It's a dress. It was a sundress.
It was a Zoom meeting.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, I realized I look naked.
Yeah. I had to lean back.
And I just told her, that is literally the equivalent of wearing shorts to an in-person meeting. You just showed up naked to a Zoom call. You might as well have just not worn anything.
Oh my God. I leaned back a little bit and then they could tell I was wearing a dress and it was fine. And I wore that dress.
But if you had to prove you had clothes on.
I wore that dress to an in-person meeting earlier in the day. It was like a coffee meetup. So I felt like it was fine. But the best part of the story is I told Danielle, I was like, it had straps on it and I cut them off this morning. And she was like, oh my God,
wild.
What are you doing?
Crazy. No, and I can't really, I just posted this to my work stories.
Yeah.
My Zoom attire. Let me tell you, I have never gotten so many likes on a story.
Those decisions were made.
I was wearing my workout pants And I usually keep a top nearby that I can throw on because I had a meeting for AF National with the Council of Governors. I had to look presentable. So I had a nice top.
The way you said it at first, it sounded like you had no top in general. And
no.
You have a workout top on.
I usually have.
Or like a casual shirt
and then
on.
I keep a business shirt nearby.
Got it.
But then after the meeting, someone rang my doorbell and I was like, son of a... So I was like, and I should have just not answered door. I had a couple of people comment like, I just would not have answered my door. And I was like, I thought it was going to be a child from next door and I did not care. And then it ended up being a grown man.
Grown man. The way your voice, a grown man.
It was a grown man. And here I am in my Zoom attire. And
it's a mullet outfit, right? Like this is up top and party down bottom.
But the amount of people, I felt so seen that because the amount of people that liked that story and commented and replied to me, I was like, okay, so we're still just no one's wearing pants out there.
No. So,
I mean, I had pants on. It's just
you had like workout pants
on. My Peloton right after if I needed to.
I wear a lot of like cut off shorts in the summer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I wear them with
just not to an in-person meeting.
Not to an in-person meeting.
So it's funny because I feel like we set our standards for in-person meetings, and maybe I should have set my standards with you for virtual meetings.
I think it's fine.
Oh, I love it.
But like I wear those like cut off shorts, and then I have the same tank top in like 15 colors.
Yeah.
Of course, 4 of them are like black, but like, and I'll get on calls with that because you can't necessarily tell that that's not a dress or it's not like a nicer top and it's fine.
Right.
Particularly if they're clients I'm established with, like I'm less worried about it.
Yeah.
But I'll be on Zoom calls and I'll have to get up for some reason, like for like in a longer call and I'll forget to turn off my camera. And then like I walk out and I walk back in and I was like, I'm wearing jorts.
Oh no, you can't stand it. You got to like do the slow slide.
I can't. There's no way in the way my office, I got to just remember to turn my camera off.
The way yours is set up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big L. And so they just see me with jorts and a corgi. And I'm just like,
you are stuck there. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, so maybe we need to set some rules though.
No. You're
like, no, I'm just going to keep showing up naked to meetings.
It's only happened once in 4.5 years.
One time. It's fine.
Fine.
I would like to know from our listeners what they're wearing.
Or like, am I allowed to wear strapless?
Yeah, actually, the more important question, am I weird for thinking Eva's weird for showing up in a strapless
I have
dress?
a picture of the dress.
We'll post it. Yes.
I think I just needed to turn my camera on before I got in the meeting.
Just going to say, how would you feel if your graphic designer showed up like this to a meeting?
Well, that's the thing. I think the full dress is fine.
Oh, the full dress is different. The problem with Zoom is you only see.
I needed to turn my camera. I just leaned back.
Yes, leaning back would help. Or you like cover your shoulders.
Well, that doesn't make any. That's not any better.
Then they don't know you don't have straps. It's different.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
You did have a good tan line going, so maybe your tan lines look like straps.
We got the first snort laugh of the season.
We got it in early.
We're doing great. We're doing great. So that's my summer.
And I wanted to get into it because I think the biggest difference for me this summer, not just the fact that it's like the first full year being a freelancer, I know what to expect now. I have established clients. I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But it is the fact that this is the first year that I'm like retired from my volunteer work with AF National. And I'm still helping out with our District 3 board. And those not familiar with American Advertising Federation, there's essentially like regional boards and there's local boards and national boards.
We got a board for everything. What you want to do?
Everything. In the last 4 or 5 years, I've been a mixture of district and national. And my term came to an end. Sure. So this is my first year without all of these responsibilities.
I got stuff for you to do on the local board.
I don't want to do it.
Okay. If you just feel like a need, like you need an AF task, I got a list, girl. Let's go.
What's funny, they asked me if I would serve on the district board as a mentorship chair. And we had our board meeting the other day and I got on and Jamal Milner, who's in charge, he was like, Danielle, you got a report? And I just flat out was like, Guys, this is my first year of retirement and I'm embracing my summer and I have nothing for you.
Yeah. You're like, call me in September. I don't want to talk about it right now.
September, I'll bring things. But you know what? Right now, I got nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our years all start in July and there's not usually a ton to report. Anyways.
Yeah. And July, traditionally in the American Advertising Federation, it's traditionally training. It's a lot of preparing and planning, and it's not, events tend to not start until August, September timeframe. So that's really, summer times are a little bit more calm.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, go.
Yeah.
So this is the first year. And I think I'm just trying to kind of truly embrace it. I have some people think I'm going to be bored.
I've got a list for you if you are.
But I really want to embrace not having a whole bunch of additional non-paid responsibilities right now.
And then
I'm going to go back. It's fine.
Just text me. I can come up with a task for you on the fly.
Something.
Let's do it. We're going to do great.
Yeah. But I say that because, but you are the opposite because you're becoming president for a second year for Columbia.
Whose idea was that?
I don't know.
Was it yours?
It was my idea,
After
guys.
a podcast recording one?
I think, though, now that the school year has started back up, I know for me personally.
Well, yours started a week and a half ago. I'm only on my second full day, so I'm still real stressy.
I do think, though, like the school year starting, it's funny. I talked to my nutrition coach about this, but and she kind of said, too, a lot, she'll see this a lot where over the summer, everyone's thinks that's the easiest time to get in shape. It's the easiest time.
It's not.
Exactly. It is the hardest time. You're totally out of your routine.
Yeah.
There's more social activities.
Yeah.
So there might be more not thinking about what you're eating or drinking.
No.
You're just enjoying life.
Fall is when you do a reset.
Yes. And that's what, like, school started. And when I tell you, I have been so consistent this month with my workouts and getting back on track with everything. And so I just feel like now that school started, I feel like we can actually breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just funny because you would think, no, I think people without kids would think it's the opposite, but
it's
summer's nuts.
We had like almost 3 full weeks with no camp, no school.
Yeah. There's some rough times in there where there's no childcare.
There's nothing. My son was home with me most of the time, not every minute, but like the vast majority. And I got a new client and I got a lot of big projects that had fast turnarounds, and it was just a lot. So he just went back a couple days ago. They had a half day on Wednesday. This is our second full day. So I had my first board meeting of the year on Wednesday. Yeah. And I was in there and I was like, if I don't see myself, I'm not myself. And I check on me on Monday. Yeah. And I was like, I'm coming off like a rough patch.
Yeah.
You know, kids thrive on routine.
Yes.
And so like him being out of routine, right? Like it was just a lot. And I was like, check on me next week when he's been back in his routine and I've gotten back in my routine, because when he was in summer camp, let me tell you, I had a little hot girl like schedule, right? I would drop him off at summer camp. I would come home. I would still do my 45 minutes of cardio. I would do my kettlebells. I would eat my second breakfast because you have to eat again after that. Yes. I would go work. Like I had this whole schedule, and then I haven't been able to do that in like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. And this is something too that I know about myself, but like it really resonated with me in the last 3 weeks. Like this is, I'm all out of sorts today. So this is the time to ask me about how do I feel when things
how are you feeling, Eva?
I'm okay. But because I've been consistently moving my body, and that looked different in the last couple months, but I've been consistently doing something for the last year and a half. When I haven't been able to do it, I am all out of sorts. Yeah. And it's not even just like exercising makes me sleep better and it makes me feel less stressed. Yes. Because I have a walking pad and the kettlebells I can do at home. So I was trying to work out at home with my son there. It is not the same as having like dedicated time to focus on me. I like when my daughter's there, it's fun because like she can do it with me, but like I get a much better workout if I'm completely by myself. Because I just feel like I'm fully focused on what I need to be doing. Right. So I don't know. I get it. Yeah. And I feel like when I work out, it's not just about what's physically happening. Like I'm making mental space at the same time.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like my brain is defragging. You know, you how to do that to like old like PCs and stuff. But it is funny. My son has seen me doing the kettlebell, so he wanted to do them.
Yeah.
But, like they're too heavy for him.
Oh yeah.
But my mom had like a little 5-pound one that she brought him, and so he's like doing like little kettlebell exercises. It's adorable.
My daughter's been the same way because I'll pick up like the 25 pound barbell or dumbbells, and I'll give her like the 5 pound or the 2 pound ones, but we'll do the same moves.
Yeah. And I think it's cool because
she's tried to lift the 25 pounds.
Oh yeah. My son has as well. And it's just not going to work. But I also think it's cool for our kids to see this full breadth of like what balance looks like. They see us working, they see us doing home stuff, they see us like exercising, they see us like taking care of ourselves in so many ways.
That is the really cool part about when you're a parent that does work from home, because they get to see the whole balance of everything. And sometimes that looks hectic and crazy. But sometimes it's like, oh, this is like, you can be a boss and be a business owner and still have a life. Yeah. And that's nice to witness.
Yeah. I think it's important. I think it's going to hopefully teach our children more about balance because they see so much of it happening in front of them. For sure. So
training the future
with a 5-pound kettlebell. You should see him. And he's like 7. And so then he like tries to run on my walking pad. And he's like, I really need to work out. And I'm like, you've been going for 2.5 hours and this is probably the best metabolism you're ever going to have in your life. I don't understand what you're so fixated on. But yeah. So I've been talking a lot about me.
Shocker.
Me! The governor of
really works
so
well because you love it, and then like I actually don't like talking about myself.
Yeah,
so it works out great for me.
I just like reel you back in. What else did you do this summer?
So again, I hate talking about myself. No, we had a good summer. I really did. I think I said it. I tried to embrace the fact that all my volunteer work with AAF was kind of coming to an end. And I just really wanted to embrace having a summer. Yeah. Let's just say word it that way. Yeah. Having a summer.
Yeah.
And July came, we, 4th of July, we took some time off there. Yeah. And that was great.
Yeah.
And then mid-July, we like to do a road trip to the very tip top of New York State. Yes. People think I'm nuts for this, but so when we grew up in West Virginia. My family has always lived family being like extended family, has always lived in upstate New York. Mm-hmm. When I say upstate New York, I do not mean Albany, which is more central.
Oh, no, I know.
I mean the tip top.
I've gone through New York to get to Canada. And
they're near there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are like, oh, I'm from Buffalo. Yeah, we're about 5 hours north of there.
I didn't realize how big New York State was.
Huge.
Until that one. It's been a long time, but I went on that one trip. At least you're going when it's hot. I went in the first week of March.
July was March is still snowing.
I'm aware. We got to Montreal, and this was a very long time ago. Yeah. We got to Montreal and we get out of the car and they're like, it's 20 degrees.
Yeah.
And
that's warm.
Yeah. The bellhop was like, oh yeah, you came. It's been unseasonably warm. Like we're going through like a heat wave. And I was like, I'm sorry.
I love it. So July though, we try to go up there. We were going to do every other year.
Yeah.
And so when I was a kid, we would go every single year. Mm-hmm. Like that was my childhood summer. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. We didn't do like Disney World or like beaches like we went to New York and it was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to share that with my child. And so we went up there. And she gets to meet all of her second cousins that are up there. Her first cousins live down here in South Carolina, but her second cousins all live in New York. So then they just instantly click and they instantly bond. They're all about and there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And because I had
so many of them.
Well, I had a lot of cousins too. So then we've now we're triple in size. And but once she went up there and experienced it, she's like, we got to do this every summer.
Oh, yeah.
So now we try to make a point every single summer. We're going to head up to New York. But we like to do the drive. And it is roughly, depending on stops, anywhere from 16 hours to 20 hours.
How many days you spread it out over?
So we did it different this year. So my husband has an electric car.
Right.
So this is the first time we did that trip in an electric car, and you gotta map things out. I know electric car, no, like it's just more planning.
Yeah.
Because you can't count on a charging station like you count on a gas station.
How long does it take to charge between?
So depending on it, it might be just 15 minutes, might be 20 minutes. And like you kind of want to break at that point anyway.
No, yeah. But it's not like you have to stop somewhere for 3 hours.
No, never. And like the longest one I think was maybe 45 minutes.
That's not awful.
It happened to be during lunch. So
go eat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the way up there, we stopped in Virginia, we stopped in Pennsylvania, overnight stop, and then we got up to New York.
That makes sense.
And the way back, we usually like to do a stop at Hershey Park, which I'm sorry. I mean, I haven't been to Disney World recently, but Hershey Park's got to be like, it is. If you want just like a fun amusement park that isn't as crazy, isn't as hectic, more bang for your buck, like go for Hershey Park. I am obsessed with it. And then you get chocolate. It's really better.
I've never heard of this place.
Really? Oh my. Oh, I love it.
I mean, I've deduced
do you like
what
roller
it
coasters
is.
and all that?
No.
Oh, never mind. You don't go there.
Do you know how easy it is for me to get nauseous? I'll get nauseous walking to my car.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I'm not getting in a roller coaster.
Likes to do all the things.
Absolutely not.
And my husband, I'm the one that gets motion sickness in the car.
Yeah.
I'm fine on a roller coaster.
No, I don't want to do it. Even as a kid, I'm just not.
My husband is the opposite. We have discovered, and he can't do any rides. And so this poor thing, he's just walking around.
Yeah, that's fine.
Finding shade, sitting there. But it's a lot of fun for me and my daughter. So anyway, so then we stop at Hershey. We do that for a day and we make it down. So I think the one day we had like a 12-hour ride. But that's
not bad.
I feel like road trips are that's part of the family
I love a road trip. It's fine. No.
I love a road trip.
12 hours is a long day, but like I'm not mad at it. I can do it.
And I can do it. Like I'm just so used to like that from West Virginia to upstate New York. 12 was what we did, and we would do it in the day. We wouldn't stop. And so like I grew up used to that. Yeah. So I don't know. I just wanted my daughter to experience some of my childhood too. So it's fun. And then came back and slowly start getting back in the swing of things. So work, I don't want to worry anyone. Work is picked back up. I just enjoy. They're like, oh no, she's not going to be a freelancer much longer. Podcast
then what are we going to talk about?
Work's busy again.
My mom's family is from Arkansas. So growing up, we would drive to Arkansas. Yeah. So I think it was like a 13 hour trip. So yeah, it was never like a big deal. The rest of my family was in California. We did not drive there.
No,
they did drive. I mean, my mom and dad,
in the middle?
My mom and dad have driven from California, from San Francisco to South Carolina.
I feel like if you move cross country at some point, you are probably driving because of something.
And I mean, like I could be convinced to drive to California, but it would have to. I mean, like it could be a vibe.
It could be. I mean, I'd do it honestly. I would do it. I would make the drive.
You could put on American Gods as your audiobook choice because it's about a road trip.
There you go.
It'd be great.
Yeah, I would do it.
And it is one of the best audiobook productions because they have a full cast.
There you go.
It's really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was your summer.
That was my summer.
Yay!
I loved it. It was the best summer.
Yay.
Yes.
I will say I've been busy, and I didn't get out of town as much as I wanted, but this has been one of the best summers that I've had in a very long time.
There you go.
It was great.
Man.
It was great.
Brat summer.
Brat summer. I don't know. I think when we say that, it's appropriate that I'm wearing like hunter grade, like I'm a muted brat.
A muted brat summer.
Muted brat summer. Like working mom brat summer.
That's more accurate, right?
Yeah. So that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, we haven't been talking to you. We've been enjoying life. No,
that's right.
That sounds horrible. I didn't say that.
It's fine. So what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? Well, what are your goals for this year?
You know, every time I have a question, I already have the answer ready.
I'm getting so good at this.
That's
so
great.
Eva, just tell me. Just tell me the answer.
So I have some goals. I have some goals for the podcast.
Okay.
And then I have like my goals in my personal life are just to keep doing what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Like I'm just, I'm in
embrace it.
I'm in a good era right now. And I just want to keep building on that.
Yeah.
So more Stevie Nicks, more Sage.
There you go. She's coming to Charleston.
Oh God.
You better get there.
I got to get there. I bought some fresh sage a couple of weeks ago. It'd be good. So my goals with the podcast is, some of them are important and some of them are not.
Okay.
But the important ones is like, we talked about getting like a third guest
Yes. I eventually would like someone to sit in this chair.
And my friend Mina already agreed. And so like, we just got to figure out
gotta set a date
the logistics and do that. So I'm excited to get more like people on the podcast.
Yes.
That's good. By not important, maybe it is. I don't know. I think it's important.
See. I'll tell you.
When I scroll through the videos on social, I would like to talk to past Eva about some of her choices and what she wore. That green sweater looks terrible on me.
It was a different vibe.
It was a different vibe. There are several. My favorite clips I don't like because my hair is a mess.
We need to like go shopping one day for podcast.
That's what
clothes.
I'm saying. And like, and part of it is just like, we just gotten started.
Yeah.
But like, there's so many like clips that I'm like, if you're going to wear your glasses, which I don't wear my glasses very often, but if you're going to wear your glasses, maybe don't wear giant earrings that day and your hair down. Cause it's just a lot
There's a lot in your face.
There's a lot happening with your face. You might see me in bodysuits like this all year round because it's what looks best on recording.
I enjoy it.
Eva. They might be like, Eva, it's December. Why don't you have sleeves on them? Because
don't need them.
Because the sweaters make me look weird.
You know what? They make long sleeve bodysuits.
They do. So
I have them. Okay, so your goals are we get guests and you look better.
And I look better. Yeah.
This seem both very achievable.
Yeah, my goals.
I like it.
Those are my goals. Awesome. I also realized that like the overhead lighting in here made my makeup look different than it looked when I got ready.
Yeah.
We're trying some softer lighting.
We're trying some lighting out, everyone. You obviously won't see it while listening to podcasts, but you'll see it on our social. So you better follow us on social for this fantastic new lighting.
Yeah. But yeah, so
these are things that matter.
I want to talk to more people and I want to look better.
What else can we ask for?
I feel like these are good goals.
These are good goals. They're good goals. I like it.
Do you have anything to add
to the podcast? No, I do want us to get guests on here. It's just logistics at this point. I want us to get guests on here.
And Mina's going to be great because her headshot, she has cool glasses, capital D designer vibes.
Yeah. She's the designer we've been describing.
Yeah. And be like, this is what I thought I was going to be.
We thought we'd be you when we grow up.
Right. Look at me.
And here we are. We don't know how to dress for podcasting.
To be fair, when I was thinking about becoming a designer, there was no such thing as a podcast.
That's fair. There you go.
So I wasn't prepared. I wasn't preprepared.
Man. But no,
yeah, so what are your other goals?
Those are the big things. Figure out how to make social easier.
Yeah.
I just hate it.
I know. I'm not taking it over. I did tell her, I was like,
she's not.
I will start editing the episodes though to like spread out.
If you can edit episodes, social won't kill me as much.
Yeah. I'll edit the episodes and I'll actually do it now that we're like in.
Well, now we have deadlines.
You just have to give me a deadline.
Yes. There's like schedule we have to keep up with during a regular season.
You and Whitney one day were talking about, not about like deadlines and stuff like that, but about how like, I just like wander off and go on these side quests and y'all were impressed that I made it all the way to Salt Lake City by myself.
I was very impressed.
Yeah, because I made friends in the airport that now follow me on Instagram.
I think Whitney and I are the type of people. We could travel alone across the country and be fine.
I'm fine.
And I assumed that you would show up with 50 new friends that you met in the airport.
I did. Emily and Matt still follow me on Instagram. He lives in Guam now. She lives in Manhattan.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. We like each other's posts. But my point of that is that is also very analogous to my actual, like my like work. Like if you just tell me like, just whenever, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not going to get done.
Well, I learned that over the summer with our bonus episodes.
Yeah. You can't. I need parameters.
I'll just say this date or nothing.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Back it up by 2 days.
Yeah.
You need it by the 16th. Tell me the 14th.
Done.
I'll probably hit the 14th.
Hey, that's great.
But just, I know me. I get my stuff done.
Yes.
I just,
need extra time.
I just get a little, a little loose. But yeah. I think this has been we just came in here and we did have some people, some ghosties send us some topics.
through social media.
So we'll start looking at those.
So we'll look at your list now that we're back at it.
We're back.
And we'll get them into the rotation and make sure we're talking about what you actually want to hear about, which you might just want to hear our rambling. We don't know.
I hope so. I hope y'all find this episode endearing. Like, welcome back.
Yes. This felt like a fitting return back for season 2.
It did. So we're back.
Yes.
If you've got ideas, send them to us. If you want to be on the podcast, let us know. If you know how to get a third person on a podcast, also call me.
If you're good with audio, please reach out.
If you know what
podcast.
If you know what I should be wearing, because the reality is, y'all, is I'm going to eventually get overwhelmed and just wear black. And that's just what I do. If I don't know what to do, I'm just going to wear black.
Yeah. This is what happens when you're graphic designers trying to do audio and video.
I'm just gonna wear black is what I'm gonna do. So I wore color I wore color to start. I felt good about it. Yeah. I felt really good.
Good job.
So anyways,
all new you.
It's something. Well, thanks. It feels good to be back, y'all.
Thank you everyone for coming back, and we will be back next week.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Ghost Boss Podcast. And also please like and review us on your favorite podcast app.